go for that. Well, I have to ask, man, are you sure about this? I'm not sure if they're ready, you know.
Listen, man, we can't wait any longer. And we're not going to know if they're ready unless we challenge their minds.
I hear that, bro, but times have changed, you know. People are mad sensitive nowadays. Everything you say offends them.
I know. And we're going to offend them. But I don't care.
In that case, I guess we got to do what we have to do.
Peace, family. Peace, and welcome back to The Black Opinion. We're back.
We are.
We got who to my left?
Mr. Marcus Lovelace.
Marcus Lovelace. And behind the camera, we have the man, that voice you know his voice, but you don't see his face, Mr. Adoink. What's going on, bro?
What's cracking, man? Another show. Let's do this.
We're back again, man.
Yeah.
Today's show is going to be about the youth violence, okay, and who is responsible. There's a lot of people talking about who's responsible for youth violence. It's a big thing in the UK right about now. Who is to blame? There's a lot of blame going around. People say it's the mayor. The mayor's doing certain things. It's society. It's the parents. Who is it? But before we even get into that, let's give it about 10 minutes before we get into the show, because you guys have got to start sharing the link right now, okay? Share the link, let everybody know that we're live, get all of your friends and all your family in here. This might be good for you if you are affected by youth violence, if you've been affected by youth violence, if you have a family member or a young person who's been affected by youth violence. This may be the show for you. Indeed. Marcus Lovelace, how's your week been, brother?
Well, it's been up and down, but it's been fun. Fun in a way. I think life's fun when you catch challenges during your week.
What challenge did you have this week, man?
Boy, bro, I think just dealing with even some of the comments from your woke video.
The last video I done?
Yeah.
What?
I think there's an argument on what is woke. I think you did touch on that on your show.
Yeah, there was a guy that came on from America.
Yeah.
Was talking about the origins of wokeness.
Yeah.
And then what it is right now.
Yeah, and
because the origins was in the black community, stay woke, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the man's
gonna stay woke, brother.
And suddenly it's been hijacked. Respect to the other community, much respect to them and their struggles, but just like the rainbow's been hijacked. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, the rainbow has actually been hijacked.
Woke might have meant that in the 60s, and the rainbow might have meant there's a leprechaun at the end.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But when we see these things, they represent something totally different. So it was kind of like I was debating with a lot of people about what is woke, because a lot of people go, social justice warrior.
Yeah, SJWs.
But I find that statement such an oxymoron. Because wouldn't it be good to be a social justice warrior?
Yeah, but who are the social justice warriors of nowadays, bro? That's the reason why it's become negative.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I find it kind of crazy that if I say to you, in the black community, we used to say bad was good.
Yeah, bad was good.
Right? Now saying social justice warrior, I'm like, so you're for your people, you're social. You believe in justice, which is fairness.
Which is a goodness, yeah, it's good, yeah.
And then you're a warrior, so you got the heart to follow through, right? But we say that now in the terms of, and that's what I was kind of arguing with people about. It's we say that in the terms now of you're a social justice warrior. So what would you be then?
So then, what would be the alternative dialogue? What would be the alternative terminology then?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Everyone's saying woke people have these kind of soft people and snowflakes and your SJW. I'm saying, what's your gang then? What's your group? Because you can't just say far right.
Or far left.
Well, far left would be social justice warriors.
Right.
So I'm
saying, what would be the alternative, terminology?
Yeah, because like when you're stepping out and you're criticizing everybody else's mindset, and some points when they talk about these things, I agree with them a lot on. I do think a lot of people are snowflakes, but what are you like? What are you standing on? What's your code of ethics? How do you think the world should be run? And there's no point in just criticizing everybody, but not standing on that. So that's the kind of little back and forth I've been having throughout the week at work and everything else.
How's your week been, brother?
Bit up and down.
Up and down.
Yeah, a bit up and down.
Isn't that everyone nowadays? Isn't that life nowadays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't know why. People are saying that the picture quality is not
great.
Yeah,
it's gone off.
Yeah, they need to refresh your page. Refresh it.
Is that to do with YouTube? Is that to do with
it's to just do. It's live, so I just think refresh your page, and it should be fine.
Are you sure about? All right, let me check. Let me check the picture quality on the. Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on here, but refresh your page, guys.
Yeah, right about now we're looking like Minecraft.
It's looking like it's.
What's it looking like on yours?
It's getting back. It's stuttering. It's stuttering.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Let me tell you something. Yeah. And people think I'm a conspiracy theorist, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So I've gone live on many occasions. Yeah. I've gone live on many occasions, just like with my phone in my car and stuff. And this type of stuff has happened. Now, I used to call them the gremlins. Yeah, the gremlins have come in and doing some kind of stuff. And I feel like sometimes when you're an opinion former, and that's what I feel like we are. Do you know what I mean? We're opinion formers. Do you know what I mean? We're forming opinions of the public. And I feel like the gremlins, understand who are opinion formers, and they try to sabotage. Do you know what I'm saying? They try to sabotage certain things and certain people. So this has definitely happened before, because if we think about it, there's nothing different, right?
It's just the same.
Nothing's changed. We got the same setup. Everything's cool, right? But now we got these kind of problems, and I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, I genuinely don't like to be, but the shadow banning and stuff that's been going on my channel. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? I've been cancelled off of Twitter sometimes. I've been cancelled off of Instagram. My account's been removed on 2 separate occasions for speaking about the trans community specifically.
But listen, we have to just be honest. If you're going to have opinions like what we do,
right?
People are definitely going to be like, we can't have that. You need to be sounding like everybody else. Because when you don't sound like everyone else, you pose as you're seen as a threat. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, I take that as a badge of honor.
You see, I got 2 points to make on that. One, maybe if we just had some twerkers jump out from behind the couch, it would just fix. It would just fix. And secondly, that's why a lot of podcasters that I know personally, they don't go live, and they would love to go live.
They do pre-recorded podcasts.
They do pre-recorded. So everything's crisp, everything's clean, because they speak about the gremlins too. You get what I mean?
So it's not just Sarah then?
No. A lot of guys that, you see, and I think that's the scariest thing in the path we're going as humanity is that opinions are a threat. And that's what I want our audience to know, that when you support our show, it's not whether you agree with us on every topic. It's the fact that you love having to be able to have an opinion.
And an alternative one.
Yeah. And at the same time, reason with other people with opinions that don't necessarily agree with you. But we can still reason. Do you get what I'm saying? On a lot of these other channels, they'll just cut you off, lock you off if you're not going along with the channel's agenda. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. That's it. That's not the type of people we want here. And you're out. But that's why I believe we'll get blurs, stutters, and
delays.
Do you think it's got anything to do with the camera focus or anything like that?
No.
Because we done tests before going,
This is all.
There's nothing wrong with the camera focus. There's nothing wrong with the camera settings.
When it's like this,
there's nothing wrong. I think it's getting back to some kind of normality.
Yeah, it's picking up now.
I think it's getting back to some kind of normality, but you know, like you said, opinions are a threat, bro.
They're becoming, and I think that's the last ditch saloon that we have as human beings. Like once you can't say your opinion,
that's fascism 101, isn't it?
But you're almost like, like you're practically in jail.
Yeah,
it's fine.
You don't get told when you can wake up, when you can go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, no more opinions. You get what I'm saying?
We will tell you what to do.
So you've almost been criminalized before you even opened your mouth. Just a thought of you saying something that don't go along.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know something? I've got a question for you, Sarah, and Marcus as well. Do you ever feel threatened? Do you ever feel like, you know what, if I say this, like something could probably happen? Have you ever felt threatened at any point when you're expressing your views?
The only time I felt threatened, realistically, was when I was debating from Speaker's Corner.
So you felt paranoid sometimes, like I could get jumped here or whatever?
Well, I just had to be on guard because some of the things that would happen in the comment section, the fact that the police came to me with like legitimate death threat, do you know what I mean? Like, I had to be like, okay, cool. So shit is getting really real right now. Do you know what I mean? So, and the thing is, there's nothing wrong with being on guard. Do you know what I mean? Like, even like people come up to me on the street and they say, Sarah, I see your thing. And and the thing is, I generally talk to everyone, right? When I see them on the street, if they want to talk to me, blah, blah. But there's also a part of my mind like, who is this person?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? What do they
You don't know who they are.
I don't know who you are. Like, what do you really want? And that is because I understand that I've got to be on guard because my opinions can polarize sometimes. You get what I'm saying? My opinions can polarize, and it's like, a lot of people in these days and times are a little bit crazy. In my personal point of view. Like the internet, you can see from the comment section, the internet can be crazy. Like I've literally had people try to befriend me on the internet. Yeah. Oh, I really like what you're doing, bro. Yeah, bro, really like what you're saying, bro. Yeah, here's my number, bro. Like, hit me up on this, hit me up on that. Only to come and find out that was them trying to meet me to do some stupid stuff. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So I've got to be on my guard. Like, so if I am on my guard with certain people, I don't want you to take it personally, but I've just got to be on my guard. Do you know what I mean? So, but that happens when you form opinions, when you polarize opinions.
No doubt. What about you, Marcus?
I totally agree with Sarah, but at the same time, I say, again, when we move into a society, where, of course, be aware, right? But if we move into a society where we're so shook to say what everybody else will cheer us on to say. Now, I'm not doing it for the crowd, but I'm saying, can you imagine like a world that we live in where we're like, I want to say something, but I can't say something. Yeah, like that. Like when we get into that world, I kind of understand what like a really bait statement I'm about to make, but what Ku Klux Klan members that now work for police as police officers in America feel. Yeah, because they want to say.
They want to get those Negroes.
They want to get them. But they can't be honest with themselves. They can't wear it on a t-shirt wherever they go with pride. Now, I'm not saying I want to wear all the statements I make on a t-shirt.
You're just using it as an example.
But just the simple fact that people go, oh, I don't want to say that. But you haven't incited anybody to hate.
To hate
anybody, but you don't want to say something. This is how like I feel on the train when we're sitting on the train. Nobody looks at each other anymore. Everyone's facing their phone. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to look at that person. Oh, I don't want to. Like nobody wants to say. I know people say good morning, and I say happy sunrise, but no one says nothing to no one no more because everyone's a threat in their own little box, which I call their phone. Yeah. So us feeling threatened about having an opinion. That's the end of society, bro.
100%.
Like that is it. It's over. Like from the time everyone starts feeling scared to say what's on their mind, how do we even have can you imagine? We say we live in a democratic society.
Yeah.
How can you even have diplomacy if there's no opinions?
No freedom of speech.
No freedom of speech.
Right.
But that's what we're getting now.
Yeah, and that's why I say it can't be diplomacy anymore. It can't be.
So what are we living in now? A tyranny?
You see, I don't like to go to tyranny because I know tyranny is around the world, and we wouldn't be able to do this video, right?
Yeah, but the thing is,
right?
Sorry to cut you, Marcus. One of the greatest things that this current society does is make you think that something is not going on when it's going on.
It is. Yeah. Very good at that.
Yeah. So we could actually be living in a tyranny, but we just don't know that we are.
Yeah.
But we just get little signs of it.
Yeah, because we're quite comfortable in the
tyranny. Yeah.
In the tyranny.
Yeah, but put it this way, yeah. We spoke about relationships a lot on this show. Yeah? If you're like in a relationship with somebody, right? And they just keep punching you in your face, yeah? And you never even have makeup sex. That's tyranny. Yeah?
Great example.
Right? But you see the tyranny we're in, she will slap you and then she'll be wearing lingerie on the bed in the evening. And I think that's kind of the tyranny you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's an interesting analogy.
Do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You still got the box, but nighttime come, like she's on that bed in some nice lingerie, and you're like,
So it makes you think, don't worry about the hit that I just got.
Forget that.
Now she's kind of on the bed, and I want to do what I want to do.
Because what's happened to let's not say the word, but what's happened to the thing that went down in the pandemic? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's no more outrage, right? There's no more protesting. There's no more nothing, because now you're allowed to go back to work and you're allowed to go to the bars and all of that. You're happy as Larry, right? Yeah. So again, you got slapped, but now you're caressed again.
Can we just give a little big up to the UK economist who just donated?
Big up UK economist. I'll read the super chat actually. Breakdown of the family unit, poverty and gangs grooming kids from these broken communities causing the majority of youth violence. We are going to get into that.
That's a great way to...
That's a great segue. Before we get into it, family, share this right now. All right? Share it, like it, subscribe it. We're about to go into youth violence and the reasons for it. Now, the comment we just got, break down the family unit. It's a fantastic segue, right? Because I'm going to go into what is going on in the family unit. Okay? So, Adoink, please put that slide up for single parent number 1, please. So it says, many children grow up in a single parent family, meaning that often children grow up in a family with only one biological parent present. The percentage of single parent families has been consistently high over the past few decades in Western countries. In the European Union and the United States, respectively, 15 and 27% of children grow up in single-parent family. That's from the Eurostat 2016, Vespa et al. 2013. Growing up in a single-parent family results from parental divorce or separation, from parental decease, or from being born to a single parent. Although the proportion of single parent families seems to remain quite stable, a clear shift is visible in the causes of single parenthood. Over the last decades, single parent families have increasingly been constituted by parental, and then we cut off. Adoink, thank you for that. Are single parent families the reason for the youth violence? Marcus, what do you think?
Yeah, dead obvious. Yeah.
It's just that simple.
It's just that simple. Yeah.
It's not society. It doesn't go deeper. It's not just a society problem.
Society, it begins with society, but are single parents, would we say that single parents are a part of society? We would say that.
Yes,
right?
they are.
Yeah. And what is it? This got no hate towards single parents. Being a single parent is tough. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, let's be realistic, innit? Like, we don't use our emotions to go, who is to blame? Mm-hmm. We turn around and say, what are the potential criminals and the criminals saying when they get in front of a judge. And what do they always scream out? I grew up in a single parent home. I grew up on a council estate. Like, they rap about it. They talk about it. Like, my mum had to do it by herself. I don't even know my dad. Waste, man. You get what I'm saying? It goes on and on and on and on and on. And I don't see that many of them rapping about life was good at home, you know, and you get what I'm saying?
My dad was there.
And my dad was there, but I'm still on this road thing. Like, you don't hear that. So it's not a matter of me looking at it as blame. Oh, yes, blame the single parents. But the facts are the facts. And I think there is something behind why parents are becoming single parents. I don't think it's just they just want to be single parents. Not all of them. But the facts are the facts. Yeah, come on. Like, the statistics go up, innit? The less fathers there are in the home.
Listen, I'm not going to disagree with you, but there was a comment that was just made about county lines.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up on the screen again.
Could you please?
Yeah, it's right. Does anyone know how county lines came about? That's what the comment says, from Dominic Smith.
That's a very
Dominic, that's a deep question, my bro. Like, I'm not even sure if I would answer that on a live of my perception of how it came about. Anyway, I'd love to hear yours.
Yeah, please call up.
I'd love to hear yours, Dominic. And
the reason why that's actually quite significant, all right, is because I've got some research here on county lines. If I'm totally honest.
Well, good question. Good question.
You're gonna. Yeah, could you bring it up? What's it from now? What slide is it there, Doink?
I'll have to bring. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because we had some stuff from county lines here, as a matter of fact. No, it's not that one. Because that was the other part of the show.
Let me. I'm just gonna have to bring it up.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to go into what the Mayor of London, see what the Mayor of London says.
Okay.
See what the Mayor of London says about that, because that's very interesting. The Mayor of London, there's key epidemiological findings, which means they're saying it's an epidemic, right? Developing a picture of serious youth violence in London to identify opportunities to prevent initial involvement, prevent escalation, and to mitigate harmful outcomes. Case definition of incidents. 55% of SYV, which is, I guess, single youth violence, are serious wounding offences. 46, increase of incidents in youth violence. 42% increase of sharp object assaults, right? The place that it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Variation of incidents between boroughs and wards. Correlation with nighttime, economy, IG Westminster, and the perpetration of their own borough varies from 49% to 83%. The risk factors: childhood adversity, contact with CJS, looked after children, adolescence, poverty, emotional and conduct needs. So, take that off, please. So, the Mayor of London is apparently trying to tackle knife crime. Do you know anyone in your own vicinity, your own family, people that you know that have actually come up against like youth violence and knife crime?
Yeah, plenty, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How serious though?
Highest levels.
Really?
Levels, yeah. Highest levels of what that consists of being in that kind of road lifestyle. But again, if I'm deadly honest, it's not to get at family members or nothing like that. It's a lot of single parents going on. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you hear majority of the time from family members, that, you know, you've had it better than I've had it. I come from this and I got to grow up on that estate and rah. And the peer pressure, bro, without having a father, peer pressure is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? The levels it can get to. I got some good cousins that I don't think would have ever gone down that road, no matter where they grew up. But the peer pressure has gotten smaller and smaller. Remember, it used to be your area. So Hackney,
Right.
Brixton, Peckham. Nice.
Or even outside of London.
Even outside, yeah. But
Birmingham, Manchester.
Right? But even if you was from Birmingham, it would be like Aston and this place in Birmingham. You get what I'm saying? But that's just two sides of Birmingham, right? But now it's estate to estate.
Like literally, you can't even walk like
through certain
10 minutes down the street.
Yeah.
Like, and you see the peer pressure has got so large now that where it was like at least you got your area to roll with.
Yeah.
At least and I like nerds. You get what I'm saying? I like nerds. Yeah. I think every area should have its nerds. Yeah?
Nerds around the world, man.
And you should look after your nerds. Yeah, they're from your area, right? But you see now, nerds can't even really feel safe because the beef is going like, and the scary thing for them, and I know it seems a bit off topic, but it's on. You know, like nerds nowadays still dress in a hoodie and all of that, and the full on black.
Some people say I'm a nerd. I got a hoodie on right now.
But do you get what I'm saying? But because of that top, yeah, you could be looked at. Even though you're a big man, you can still be looked at as if they saw you on the street as one of them. Do you get what I'm saying? But if you don't dress like that, then them lot might think you're soft.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It's a weird place to
be.
Be.
But now do you see where I'm going back to the peer pressure?
Totally.
So where my cousin might be like, he might look at me going to work certain time or when I've been on job, yeah, and be like, yeah, cousin just fly, yeah? But he can't dress like me because he'd be like, bruh, no white shirts were on my estate, bruv.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be looked at like that.
They'll think you're a dickhead. Might
try to move to you. You look like a soft target. You get what I'm saying?
Straight.
So just that peer pressure alone, bro. Like even what my man's saying with county lines, which I thought was...
The thing is, we're going to do that now.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you.
No, go on.
So I don't care. You know it's drug dealing slide, number one. Yeah? So if we get to like the county lines, all right, so it says, what is county lines drug dealing? County lines drug dealing, this is from the House of Commons Library, it's a Parliament website, right? It says, county lines drug dealing describes organised crime groups who supply drugs to suburban areas, including market and coastal towns. County lines drug dealers are use dedicated mobile phones or deal lines to assist in the transport of drugs. This type of drug dealing is strongly associated with the coercion of children and vulnerable people. The dealers uses the children and vulnerable people to move drugs, money, and sometimes weapons between their hometown and the coastal and market towns they're dealing in. Thank you, Adoink. So there are people within the community, within society, now using vulnerable people, and I'm guessing young people, to continue their pushing of their drugs, or pushing of their weapons, right? And do you know what? I tell you what I find interesting, right? Is that a lot of people scream, specifically in the black community, they scream about, oh, I'm from the hood. I'm from the hood, I love my area, I love my ends. But you see the people that are doing this county lines thing?
Yeah.
They don't get called out. They don't get called out because you know why? We have a quote unquote no snitching culture. Yeah? You can't snitch. But the people within your community are the ones that are making it the worst for the young people growing up in the community. They are coercing young people into the community to go out to county lines to do all this kind of stuff. And here we are saying, what is to love about that, bro? That's what I'm trying to ask. That what is to love about that kind of psychology?
I can answer that. Sorry, Marcus.
No. Go on.
What it is, the environment that they're in, the people that are there moving around, they become their family. So if someone's coming from a broken home and they meet some guys on their area and they're giving them things to do, bit of guidance, to do with whatever it is that they're selling or whatever, they then become like a family to that individual or those group of boys. And that's why they end up saying, I love my ends. It's fed me. It's put food on my table. It gives mum money. I can buy this. I can buy that. So that it's a substitute for not having a parent.
So then, now you say that. It's fed me. It's put food on my table. Do we now go back to government and society as the reason why this is happening? do there need to be more opportunities now for younger people to put food on their table and to feed themselves?
The key word you just touched on it, which is opportunities. Because yes, parents deserve a certain part of the blame.
Right.
Because your child shouldn't be out there looking for a roadman daddy. Right? Yeah. First and foremost. I know you're busy. I know you're doing your 2 jobs. I know you're trying to hold it down for your kids. But if that comes at the sacrifice of you maybe killing somebody, shotting drugs to somebody else's child.
Or him being killed.
Or him being killed, was your 2 jobs worth the sacrifice? And the roof over your head. So you got to ask yourself who you're really doing it for. Right? Going back to what you said with the opportunities,
is that for the government to provide the opportunities for that not to happen?
It's actually your lack of community, which is meant to provide opportunities, and then the government are meant to help your community.
So all right. So you're saying that the community, provide the opportunity.
Yep.
And then the government adds on to that because the community has shown itself to actually be caring about the actual community.
Here's a cut and take for the women that don't think we're down for them. Yeah. Men are meant.
Don't be a misogynist now.
I won't be a misogynist. I'll put my feminist cap on.
Yeah. Go on.
Men are meant to get together in their communities and run their youth centers.
Yep.
Spiritual places of spiritual practice. Sports centers. Sunday clubs, etc., etc. Men are meant to do this, in my opinion, with the help of women, if women want to get involved, let's not leave them out, right? But men are meant to put their best foot forward for their sons, for their daughters.
I've got a son myself.
Right? But what happens is the black community mainly, but I'm sure other communities are affected by this.
Of course, because this is up and down the country.
We get involved through TV, I believe, and media manipulation, we get involved in relationship politics more than we get involved in community politics.
That I agree with 100%.
You're so angry with your partner that you forgot your community. You used to at each other's throats so much that you forget your community.
Not realizing that has an effect on the wider community.
Right.
Your schism here is the community.
Like if next door can't sleep because of your schism, and you don't respect the team, do you get what I'm saying? Like now we're gonna have a problem. Man down in the community. Now the adults think, it is what it is. People got their personal lives and things to And when we get on that little individualism, and what we're not understanding is that our children now, when they walk outside the door to go to school, the families next door are like, that's them kids.
That's those kids.
That's what I'm saying. It comes down to community. Do you get what I'm saying? The answer is always going to fall back on men not doing their job in the community, men not being supported to do that job in the community. It's always going to come back down to community, because community is what's going to give you that special word which you said, which is opportunity. Because the more men you've got around you, safe men, but more men you've got around you as young children, the more one guy's going to be doing plumbing, one guy's going to be doing bricklaying, one guy might be going to university to do law, and he just helps out on Sunday with football, and he starts talking to you about law, and suddenly one of the children get interested in it, and now he's a mentor. So not only are you just getting a mentor, but you're also getting nepotism into that field. He'll give a word to his lecturer. I got this little girl from my community, she's really good. Bam, 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 bam. So if you're not dealing in community, you won't find opportunities. And then what you'll do is, as I think where we're kind of going, is you're going to lay blame to your government.
It's funny that you talk about mentoring, because we're going to go to that. Before we get that, family, thank you all for the super chats. We are actually going to now read out every comment that's a super chat. Okay, I understand everyone's commenting, but right now, this is some community work now, okay? This is some community work. And it's not just black community, it's the UK community work, because these are the type of things that needs to be spoken about. So if you want if you have a question for both myself or Marcus or even a doink, make it be 99 pence. We don't care. donate to the super chat. We'll read out your question and then we'll get to it. But you spoke about the mentoring, right? Adoin, can you bring up that slide on mentoring, please? In the school, the resource B mentoring slide, please. It's the purple one.
This one here, right?
Yeah. No, not that one.
Resource B.
Resource B.
Okay. So
yeah. So it says resource B, yeah? What works in preventing violence and aggressive behavior? Mentoring. It says mentoring, where a mentor works closely with an individual to give advice and help to identify and solve problems, can prevent future behavioral problems if it is well done. If it is well done. More regular contact. What is mentoring? More regular contact, longer contacts, and combining with other supportive interventions appear to make mentoring more effective. However, the research suggests that caution should be taken when implementing mentoring programs. Poorly implemented mentoring programs, for example, unstructured mentoring with the unmotivated or otherwise unsuitable mentors, can make things worse. The Early Intervention Foundation, in collaboration with the Home Office, has published advice on mentoring. The advice for those commissioning mentoring programs provides practical evidence-based guidance for commissioners and practitioners to maximize a positive impact of any local mentoring provision and minimize the likelihood of ineffective or unintentionally harmful practice. So, thank you, Adoin. Mentoring is good.
Yeah.
But who are going to be the mentors?
The qualified by the community.
Right. Do you trust the community to put the right mentors in place?
Well, most communities are broken. So there's not communities as we speak that I can point out and say that's a community. Because if there was, the results would show.
Right.
From the children in that area, the qualifications, the decorum of the children, everything about if it was a community. Yeah, just step outside of London and step outside of the multicultural cities, and you will see a lot more community-based values. Right. So first we need to start community values. How we start community values, brick by brick, estate by estate. So as an example, if we start cleaning up basic stuff, start cleaning up the parks on an estate,
right?
Start making sure that we don't need ticket men in that area.
For what? For parking?
For parking? No, we will subscribe somebody who's responsible that lives on the estate to deal with that. You see, as soon as you have outside influence into your community and people start telling you what you can and can't do in your community loses strength.
Right.
Yeah. So you need the people that lived in the community for a long period of time to have some weight behind them. You know, like you can't have
someone who's respected.
Someone who's lived there and respects that area. Somebody who you can see out every single Saturday helping the older people in the community make sure their gardens are clean with other men from that community. Yeah. People that are turning around and saying, guys, like, you can't be just drinking on the corner. Yeah. And if you are from the estate and you're here to protect us and stand on the corner, then at least keep the drinks to the side. Do you get what I'm saying? But somebody who can reason with the youth from that estate, that community, right? It's not, sometimes when we say these things, it sounds dreamy, but other communities...
I think that's quite realistic.
But other communities are doing it.
I think that's very realistic.
Very.
You know, but a lot of people will be like, oh, that's not going to happen. How could that happen? Da, 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 da. And that's what I say, like, do you want your area to be clean?
Yeah.
Do you want, when there's a sense of danger that's coming onto your estate or close or whatever you live in the UK, yeah, do you want there to be a warning sign that danger's there?
That danger's there, yeah.
Yeah? Do you want...
From the people that you trust.
From the people that you trust. And this is why I say they made, and I'll say the they in capitals, yeah, they made it uncool for Community Watch. Do you remember Community Watch?
Yeah.
Little orange sign in the window.
Yeah.
I'm saying we need to bring those things back where people have got signs in the corner of their window saying, boy, on this estate, if you're not a part of the estate, you'll get snitched on, bro.
Yeah.
You'll get snitched on around here. We'll either snitch to the authorities or we'll snitch to other people that we can go to on this estate.
But we have a no snitching culture, though. That's the thing. How do we break that no snitching culture? Because people tend to think that quote unquote snitching is a bad thing. But for me, when you're a snitch, because snitch comes from like the criminal, it's like criminal language, right?
Yeah.
So the language of snitching is criminal upon criminal language.
Yeah.
If you're a civilian who's living on a estate and you've been living on that street for all of your life, and you've been a civilian and all of your family have been civilians, and then you see a crime being committed, you're not a snitch.
Yeah.
You're a civilian that is actually trying to help your area or your community to stay safe.
But hip hop and crime culture has seeped into everyday being cool as a citizen. Do you get what I'm saying? So a man that don't even do the roads will turn around and be like, bruv, you can't just snitch on man.
Yeah.
Bruv, you don't even put your feet in the mud.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You can't snitch on man. Yeah? Bruh, it would be to your best interest to snitch.
Yeah.
If you've not been involved with no crime with that person, and that person is bringing some form of trouble to you, don't try and act like the big man on campus. You're not built like that. You get what I'm saying? Like you will not be able to handle what they're bringing at you. Yeah. So if you tell them you don't want no trouble and it persists, bruh, I don't see your other options. What are you gonna do? You're gonna try.
Because I tell you what's interesting is that, like I said before, like people are saying, yeah, I love my hood, I love my ends, I love my this, I love my. They rep postcodes, but like you were talking about, but are the parks in your ends even clean though? Are the streets clean?
Are the bins by your mum's house?
Are the bins by your mum's house overflowing?
Overflowing. That you claim,
you
claim to love your mum so much, innit, right? But do you go out there with your man them and make sure my mum's bins ain't like that? And do you put signs up saying, don't leave rubbish here? Because if we see you leaving rubbish here in our community, even if you're from the community, bro, ask somebody in your community to help you remove something. But again, people have become so individual from each other that people don't want to talk to each other, even though you live right next door to each other. And I think that's a form of insanity in itself.
Do you know what it is? It's a fake sense of love. Because love in its greatest sense is care. For me. It's care. You tell me you love your community, you love your hood, you love your ends. I don't see you taking care of it.
Then your ends should look the best, right?
It should look just immaculate.
Just like the car you drive from Road Money.
Right.
Just like the chain
your area should look like just like that.
Yeah. Just like the clothes from Europe you value so much.
So who you lying to? You lying to yourself? You lying to us? You don't care. When I go to your end, there may be like drug paraphernalia everywhere. The place is messy. There's overflowing bins. You don't care.
Yeah, of course you don't care.
So then essentially, what do you care about within that community? What is it that you're talking about? Oh, I love my ends. Are you saying about, because a lot of them say, because we're going to get into a video about certain gang members soon, right? And they say, oh yeah, I love my mandem, my peoples, my this, my that. The majority of your guys that you know now, and I'm telling you, the most hardened criminal will tell you, the guys that you grow up with, that you were doing dirt with, when you go away, generally, I'm not saying there aren't no people that hold people down. But generally, when you go away, the guys that you were rolling with, they ain't coming to see you in jail. They ain't answering your calls.
Let me before we go into the video, let me give you an interesting factor in this, yeah? When we say gangs, yeah, are we talking about teenagers from the UK that might shank each other or do druggies on each other? Are we talking about that?
It's the Western world in general.
So all gangs in the Western world, or just particularly youth gangs?
We're talking about the youth. Yeah, we're talking about the youth. Yeah.
Because when we talk about youth gangs, yeah, I just call them youth and youth offenders. Because you know when you say gangs, it's not to say that they can't do anybody any harm. They've got the ability to do people harm. But when we say gangs, yeah, for me, it's like
gangs are organized.
Bruh, I do a lot of studying on gangs, a lot of reading on different gangs, Russian mafia, Chinese mafia, triads, Yakuza, Romanian mafia, like all different Eastern European mafias, etc. Right? And when you find their togetherness, yeah, like you'll find that the places where they mainly stay are relatively clean and respected, and there's a kind of rules, and there's a
code.
There's a code, but what would you call it? Like it's like a decorum of how they greet each other. Yeah, and I think what happens a lot, especially with black youth, is
we're not glorifying gang life, by the way.
We're not glorifying it at all, but like
we're saying when it does happen,
there's a manner in which it happens. Like the boss's right hand man is on point. He's not flossing. His whole job, his whole day is about making sure the boss is good, right? But over here, what I find is, especially with youth gangs, everyone's kind of equal. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just dog eat dog, but we're from the same ends. There's not really no method to the madness. It's just, yeah, them man did us something, we got to go and slide on them.
Right.
These men over here did us something,
we're going to go and
slide on them. Do you get what I'm saying? But there's no like, yo, link up, sit down around the table, and this can be resolved by them giving the other lot a bag and saying, we're sorry for what happened because we don't want business to mash up. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, sliding is more important on your ops than business.
Right.
That's what separates youth gangs
from actual gangs.
Gangs don't want to just go to war, bruv. War is like a last
It's the last option, yeah.
Yeah, because they don't want to mess up business. Like, you start firing up the city or the town, yeah?
And then the police are on you. And then, it's
everyone gets locked down. Everyone gets locked up. So, gangs, when they call them organized crime, it's not for no reason. It's called, the key word at this beginning is organized. Yeah? So when we see these youth now, it's got nothing to really, I'm not saying they ain't got their stuff together in some cases, but even sending youths up to country lines and all of that, like, bro, how long does that last?
Marcus, there's a question here that I want you to answer. Somebody wants to know, because you said you spend a lot of time studying gangs.
Yeah.
So seven Reload has said, why do you spend so much of your time studying gangs? Can you answer that?
Because my community suffers from gang culture. Why wouldn't I study what my community suffer from? That would be the first case, no? It's not because I find them impressive. If I wanted to do that, I'd go for walks in the field. I like scenery.
Adoink.
Yeah.
There's a video that we got up.
Yeah,
let's play the video and see what just like trying to get into the mindset of the youth and why the violence kind of happens.
Didn't know their identities, but I was told they were all under the age of 21.
Thanks for agreeing to talk to us, guys.
The youngest was just 15.
Got to ask you guys, why are so many young people carrying knives now?
Some people don't even have a choice, innit? That young person has to carry a knife to protect himself from other people trying to come to him, you get me?
So it's about protection?
Yeah, of course, man.
How young were you when you started carrying?
13.
13, same age.
Have any of you ever been attacked?
Yeah, I've been attacked.
Yeah.
How does it happen?
You can be in a certain area, wrong place, wrong time.
Is it over drugs?
A lot is over drugs, but then nowadays it's just silly you trying to have a problem with you over nothing.
Why has it got so bad?
I think mainly social media, so Snapchat, Instagram. Certain people say things and it just escalates the situation. And now everyone thinks it's fashion to be carrying a knife.
So are you carrying knives now?
Yeah, we've all got something on us for real, for real.
Can I have a look? Can I ask a question? Where did that come from?
You can get that online, you can get that anywhere.
I can get it around the corner.
One phone call.
Can I touch it?
Go ahead.
What? Look, let's be serious about this, boys. You know that is designed for one thing and one thing only. That's not for use in the kitchen, right? Have any of you had friends who have either been stabbed or killed?
Yeah.
How many fatally?
3.
So you know 3 young people have lost their lives. And you still carry knives.
I've got to protect myself.
It's hard out there when you think of it, it's hard.
But also, not every young person carries a knife, do they? Some people choose not to.
Yeah.
We're not out to kill civilians.
And that's what you refer to them, yeah?
Yeah.
So, is it a war then?
There's definitely opposite sides. People are dying. So it's a war, isn't it?
I'm not gonna lie. That was a bit disturbing. And then I don't know. It seems a little bit not real. Do you think that's real?
Yeah, because do you know what
It's real, bro. Trust me.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I'll be real with you. Even if it was fake, yeah, the numbers still account.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It don't even matter if he set that up and the boys had knives and they was all actors and they brought out the knives. I've seen crimes where the blade was still on the floor in Stratford, yeah? And you look at this thing and go, it's not a blade, bro, it's a sword.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's a sword, fam, yeah? And there was a guy, you imagine this, there's the youth that got caught for it was 16, yeah? Now imagine, there's a 16-year-old youth walking around with a sword. They must be at least half the size of my leg. You get what I'm saying? And there's one thing that I'll tell you with, not that I have much experience in this, so let's just put that for the cameras. But I'm saying, you see, shooting and stabbing are two different things. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you shoot, you're standing from afar. You can even not be aware of the act you're about to commit, even if you pull the trigger, because you don't get up close and personal, right? You don't feel anything. And I hate to be like to go too in depth for the listeners, but this is what they've got to understand. When the boy, what did the boy say which made me believe it? He said the social media thing.
Snapchat and the Instagram.
And this is, I've spoke to some of my family members in America and they're talking, they talk a lot about the New York beef, having the same thing. Like, it would stop and they just leave it at that, like a fight they might have outside. But the fact that people pull out cameras, record it, then pull it up on
on social media
and go, we rolled up on my man, we slid on my man. Look, he's on the floor getting kicked up. This is what makes my man go home. Right, I'm not getting slid on again and embarrassed in front of the world again. So he's either gonna, New York, they're most probably gonna get strapped.
And just away.
Right. But over here, they wanna get a knife. And not to be funny, bro, like, the Rambo knife is for effect. You can get a knife from your mom's kitchen and do the same thing.
You do the same thing,
Right? So then Rambo...
Now it's becoming a fashion thing.
Yeah, right. So you
look at the one that I've got.
Right? Now, when they say... Remember all these things that were saying demon time? And I hate to go there with this, but I have to like drop that. I do think this is something to do with something deeper than we all understand. I'm not going to go into no God, devil stuff, but like some kind of weird spiritual thing as well. Because the way they're accepting their existence in Britain, in a place where you can go into internet cafes, you can apply for colleges, and they're like, nah, this is my reality.
But then again, with the society thing, remember the question I'm asking is it a societal problem, government problem, or family problem, or community problem?
It's everything.
It's the reverse. It's the reverse of exactly what you just said. It's family, community.
But you said this is they're saying this is my reality.
But it is though.
Who created that reality?
Well, that's why I said it's a bit of everything.
And it is a bit of everything. But in those steps, family, community, government. Because if your parents make bad decisions in who they had children with, that's the beginning of your nightmare. Right? And then if you go into your community, and there's man them on the road putting pressure on you, that's the second part of your nightmare, right? And by the time you go to the government, which would be the police, and they say, bro, there's knife crime happening everywhere, bro. You're just going to have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
So it starts in the home.
Of course.
That's the first
Of course.
All right. So do you know what's so funny though? I'll tell you what's interesting. If it starts in the home, anyone that's out there that's a parent, tap that link in the live chat and let me hear you as a parent speak. Because I'm a parent myself, right? But I would argue that most parents would say, and if they have children or family members that have been into youth violence, knife crime, in jail, they will generally not accept responsibility. They won't say, no, it never started in my home. It started out there. Oh,
Yeah.
I can only do so much. Society done it. It's because the government have shut down youth clubs. So I'm saying that's why we're asking the question about, is it in the home, is it society, is it government? Because if you're saying it starts in the home, I want to hear from the parents.
Definitely.
Are there any parents right now that are willing to click that link and speak on the fact that this stuff starts in the home? Does it start in the home? Does it start with government? Does it start with the society? That's what we want to know.
Yeah.
Because I've got a son. Yeah. So when you say it starts in the home, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm not. I have responsibility over my son.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son's 9. Couple years time, he's going to be in and around some things as a teenager that I may not want him to be around.
Yeah.
It is for me as his father to steer him, give him the right tools, give him the right mindset, in when he does come across certain things, you know how to interact with it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's for you, as well, to help my son.
Yeah.
In any way, shape or form. It's for a doink to help my son in any way, shape or form.
Family.
It's
community.
community. For me, that's where it starts. But
remember, sorry to cut you, Sarah, but remember, you're a man with different kind of morals. Not even different kind of morals. You've got a good moral base. So obviously that's going to translate onto your son. So if you wasn't like that and you started telling him or showing him certain things which didn't have a good moral compass, that's where it begins. Because as soon as it starts there, where it's off key from you as a dad or a mum, whatever, he then goes out into society with a different kind of moral compass, and then the trouble starts. Do you get me? So it definitely starts in the home, because the parents are the first port of call to show.
Parents not taking responsibility for it coming from the home.
I know they're not.
They're not. Whether it be the mother or the father.
Yeah, but why would
Because you know what parents say? Oh, he was such a good boy.
Yeah,
he was this. Every boy is a good frigging boy.
Every knife crime
he was never
incident,
that bad.
Yeah, both boys from both parents, the parents will come out and say he was a good boy.
Yeah, they will, because they want to. That's their ego checking.
And do you know what one of my mentors told me one time? So if he was a good boy, he was a bad parent.
Something's gone wrong somewhere.
No, like. I think parents ignore, and I know because they're really busy and they've really got so much to deal with, especially if you're a single parent, yeah? I don't want to never belittle them for that, because even as like being a single father or being a single mother, I know how hard it can be, bro, yeah? But at the same time, it's like, did you see them walking out the hood, out the door with the hood on in summertime? Did you see that? Or you pretended not to see that? Did you notice that when you saw your son on the high road, all of his friends were wearing black? And it was hot outside? Yeah. Did you notice that? Do you know what a balaclava looks like rolled up into a beanie? Do you know them things?
Right, bruv, you know what? Now you just said it, I've seen it.
Right.
So that makes sense now.
But the thing is, like I was going back to, let me, because I want to get some stats in, because like I said, parents generally tend to think that it's never their fault.
Of course.
Right?
It is.
So, Adoink, single parent, slide 3, please. Right? So, so it says, divorce or separation by births to unattached women and decreasingly by parental decease. 2006. Let's start. Next paragraph. Since it appears that the rate of single parenthood will not decrease in the coming years, it is important to carefully consider the consequences of growing up in a single parent family. Research suggests, among others, that growing up in a single parent family has negative effects on children's emotional well-being, cognitive development, and school performance. This was done by Bradley and Corwin in 2002 and Chappelle in 2013, DeLange et al. In 2014. These are the different studies, you know. DePreet and Eric in 2006, right? Moreover, research suggests that children in different types of single-parent families show, all right, it's gone down. But thank you, Adon.
Sorry to cut you, Sarah. But you know something? Like I keep saying, it depends on the parent. who is that parent? What are they like? What's their view of the world? So these statistics are all well and good, but we need to look at who the parent is. What, like Marcus was saying, did the parent notice any red flags in their children? Did you notice any of the stuff that he was wearing when he was leaving the yard or anything like that? Like, the parent needs to pay attention to who their child is and also who they are. Do you know what I'm saying? So, because there's people that grow up in a single parent family and they turn out just fine.
I'm from a single. I'm from a single parent family.
So you should be in jail, really and truly, or you should have stabbed up somebody.
Right.
According to that.
Yeah, but listen.
Yeah, the odds.
The exceptions do not negate the rule. I'm the exception.
Are you?
Not only was I from a single parent household, I grew up on 3 different estates in South London. My single mum had 5 of us in the house. 5 different siblings. Yeah, 5 children from a single parent mother on a council estate. We all should have been a statistic.
So now I'm gonna ask you.
We all should have been a statistic.
So why? Why was you not?
Because, like you said, look at the parent.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to look at my mother. Love you, mum. Right. Love you dearly.
Yeah.
So I have to look at my mother. Right. So I'm not saying that my story is the greatest story. And the thing is, it's such a thing because in the community, you see the story that I have, because I rarely speak about this, you know? I rarely speak about my story, right? But my story will be glorified in a rap song. It will be glorified amongst the community. Yeah, from single parent mother, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, my siblings, man, I had to struggle, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I had a struggle lifestyle as a child. Trust me, like, I remember having to heat up the house with the oven.
I remember that.
Do you know what I'm saying? When the electric's gone, and there's no electric in the house, there's only gas, and we had to heat up the house with the oven. I had to light the oven and heat up the whole house, right? But I don't speak about that because you know what? That struggle for me only made me say, you know what? I know I want better for myself.
Sure.
But I understand not everybody like me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? I totally get that. Not everyone's like me. Do you get what I'm saying? I come from I grew up with 5 siblings, single mother, council estate. But that I could have been a statistic, and trust me when I tell you, I nearly was. Yeah, I could have been. Like I could have been a statistic.
It's that easy.
It's the line. I grew up around some very interesting characters, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna just some very interesting characters. So the bottom line is, my story could have flipped into what I just read. Do you get what I'm saying? But the majority or a huge proportion of the children growing up in single parent households, they don't end up like me.
Do you know why? Because in my opinion, this is one thing that I don't want a lot of women to do, is don't jump on, because you just told a part of your story, don't jump on mum's bandwagon. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of women, what they'll do is turn around and be like, and a lot of men do it too, yeah? They'll hear a story of a great single father or a great single mother that managed
and they'll use the exception.
And they'll use the exception and they'll go, yeah, me too. But you know what the problem with me was? My baby mother, she was out of order. So I couldn't do what I had to do, but I was on the same thing that you're saying.
I've had that conversation so many times.
No, fam. Like, because I know some great single mothers. You get what I'm saying?
So do I.
I don't want them to be in that situation. That doesn't mean I think that's an ideal situation for them. Right. What I'm saying is they hold it down. Yeah? But I don't like when other single mothers that don't hold it down jump on that wave and be like, oh yeah, just like me. I'm just like you. I got kids too. And I ain't got nothing to lie that, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Because there is differences.
So
majorly. That's why we have statistics.
I just had flashbacks of my whole childhood, but just saying that. But
what did you see? Just let us know. What did you see? I'm just curious.
I mean, I grew up in South London, council estates, bro. Like, my own personal story. Drugs. Let's just say what I was around. Yeah, drugs, gang violence, stabbings. I had family members go to jail repeatedly. I had a father that wasn't around. A relationship that I wished for. So that's something that we never got into, you know. A lot of these young boys doing this violence, are looking for a family structure that they never had.
I said that.
They're looking for, like, I know as a young boy growing up, all I wanted was my father. That's all I wanted. I wanted him because I had abandonment issues. And a lot of these boys, the reason why I'm speaking like I'm speaking, because I can actually relate to a lot of what they don't think I can relate, right? Because I do what I do, right? And I speak the way I speak. And I'm like, oh, you sound like you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Blah, blah, blah. I grew up on a council estate in South London with no dad. I had abandonment issues as a child, yeah? I wanted to know my father. He didn't want to know me. And it wasn't just me. He had 4 other children that he didn't want to know. So I wasn't anything special. And that's when I realized, okay, cool, he's just the way he is, right? Yeah. So when people talk about deadbeat dads and blah, 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 I know they exist because, I know they exist because I know my experience. But that story doesn't have to mold you. It doesn't have to make you go down that path of crime and violence and prison. And it doesn't have to, because the reason why I know it doesn't have to, because I know I'm it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I don't speak about it generally. I don't speak about that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I know that you don't have to go down that line, but I'm saying the majority of boys do. And the thing is, when I see them, a lot of the time I see myself. As a young like teenager, I see myself and I'm like, I know that anger. I know that anger because I was getting into fights left, right, and center, bro. Like, you only had to look at me the wrong way when I was young and we'd be in a fight. Do you know what I mean? That's how I was. Like, Adoink knows how much anger I had, like, when I was like, because I've known you for like over 20 years. Like, he knows how much anger I've had, right? But I get it. But going back to society, people talk about society need to learn to mold. We talk about the mentoring. They need to learn to mold these young boys. If the house can't do it, if it's not happening in the house, Marcus, where's it going to happen?
It's good. So I know Marcus is going to answer.
Go on, King. Go on, King.
Again, if it's not going to happen in the yard, it's going to happen somewhere. It might happen in someone else's house. It might happen on the street, but it's going to happen. And again, if it doesn't happen in the home, that person's going to find it. That individual is going to seek it somewhere through something. So there is no answer to this question. It's just, it needs to start in the yard with the families. It needs to start with mum and dad first, or mum or dad, whatever. It needs to start there first. And then everything else can fall into place.
Can I disagree with you?
Yeah, of course.
Even though I've been fighting the whole argument for the family and the both parents.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, when we grow up in that, the think tanks that control us, I would say, and the great minds behind the scene and the people behind the curtain, they give us things which are the actual truth, and sometimes we believe them to be fantasy, but they happen in real life all over the world, but maybe we just haven't lived it yet. Like, do you remember how much black boys were into kung fu movies when they were young?
Back in the day, I was.
Wu-Tang.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Do you know why one of the major principles of that was?
Discipline.
And a master.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Right.
Yeah. You'd fall in love with the little boy that had nothing, and the teacher looked down on him, and then he said, "You're gonna have to do the push-ups, bro." And he goes, "I can't do it, master.
Karate
I can't
kid.
do it." Yeah. And then you go, "You're gonna have to try, boy." Yeah. And because a lot of black boys were coming from single-parent families,
they identified with that.
That's why you got in the mirror afterwards, and you was like, "Hiya, hiya, hiya," and you got on your little. You had that energy in it, right? But this is not just a movie. That's really Chinese people's lifestyle.
Their culture.
That's their culture, right? So I'm saying where Adoink said, they're gonna look for it somewhere. Right, we need to stop there. That's what we need to find a solution for. Because if we've got single parent homes and there's this energy in children that needs to be taken care of and nurtured, we can't go, well, the dad's not there, so it's pair fam. What a community does, it starts opening up dojos, centers, creative arts centers, for these children to go, when they don't have the father figure there, they'll be running out the house to go to these centers, to go and see their friends, to go and talk to Mr. This and Mrs. That at the center, and obviously through making it a tradition, you give them names of respect. Nana this, Baba that. You get what I'm saying? Like, you give them names of respect. So when they go there, they feel even more of a connection, and rather than calling them Mr. and Mrs.
It's funny you said that, yeah, because I remember when I was young and I took up martial arts, right?
Yeah.
I did Wing Chun. And when I took it up, like you said, I couldn't wait to go there.
Yeah.
Because that guy who was teaching me was a figure that I'd never seen before in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
And though he was harsh on me, I also knew that he not loved me, but he cared.
Yeah.
A lot.
He cared. And it was just like, it was a figure that I'd never seen before. So I went into Wing Chun, I went into martial arts, and I was just like, I wanted to make him as happy as I could.
Yeah. Because
you know, that's your subconsciously, you was looking at your dad there.
100%. I was looking for a father figure.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not always as simple as us just going, because your dad's not there, I'm looking for a dad. Yeah? You're a balance of what we call energy, right?
Right.
Positive and negative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they say women negative, men positive energy, or whichever way you want to fling it around. Yeah. But you need both of these energies to be a balanced human being.
So you're saying what, both mum and dad? You're saying?
I'm saying you need mum and dad. Yeah. But a dad can sometimes be replaced by a master.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything that provides you what you felt like a love, a care.
Discipline, guidance.
A discipline, a guidance. You know, the fact that you would feel a way about him being disappointed with you.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
That energy. So say it's not from your dad, right? But that energy can feel. Do you know how many?
I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
But what you've just done, you sparked something in my mind, right?
Yeah.
These youths that commit these crimes and go into jail, when they come out, majority of them, what have they done? Converted to Islam, right?
Yeah. Islam,
why?
Christianity, something.
Well, because it provides what Marcus was saying.
Yeah.
You know,
family, community, teacher,
fatherhood, structure. Yeah.
And and discipline.
Yeah. But because you're in a prison, you're not allowed to run away from it. You get what I'm saying? All your problems are at next door. The guy who wants to beef with you, next door. Yeah? So when you need peace of mind and all of that, and you need to get through because you've only done 6 months, you got 10 years to go. You're gonna start looking for some structure, bro.
Yeah.
Day
you have
to
to.
day.
You have to.
But in this world,
because it will keep you sane.
Right, but out here we can run freely, right?
Right.
Without a dad.
Yeah.
We can do what we want to do out here. We can act messy. We can go and breed up gyal. Yeah, we can go and do whatever we want out here. Right? With no structure. And I would say a lot of the boys that are not taking care of their responsibilities, as far as it goes as their children, is based upon that lack of structure. This is why I say, if your community is not building you youth centers, dojos, all of these things to build up your area, then I don't know why you would leave your children at home and go and work 2 jobs. What's the benefit? You put a roof over their head, I understand. I get that part. But then you put a roof over their head and then you send them out to the streets.
But what else? What's the alternative? If the youth clubs are shut down, what should that mum or dad do with the 2 jobs?
Mum or dad do. You go next door, you knock next door, you knock the next door, then you say, look, do you agree with, you knock your neighbours and you say, do you agree that the youth hanging outside and being threatening and the garbage and the way our estate is not cool? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Right? Then you go, should we have a meeting with the estate across the road? Right? And then you all have a meeting together as adults. Yeah. And you take that to the mayor of your area. And you say, we want this, this, and this. And that building over there, that's derelict, we want you to turn that into a youth club for us. And now we're prepared as parents to bring this amount of money to the table. Every parent can afford like £5 a month. Reasonably. Yeah? We'll put that in. We'll keep the lights on in the building. We want you, as the community, to get us that building that nothing's being done with it. We've got enough derelict buildings in our communities.
Yeah.
Right? So we want that building. And we want you to do CRB checks on the people that are working in there. And we want to give our children something to do on Saturday, Sunday. And we want a security guard at the door. These things are all basic.
This might sound negative, but if the family structure where that child is coming from isn't intact, that beef or that problem that child has is going to end up in that youth club. Let's just say they open up the youth club, and he's not getting treated well at home. there's still going to be beef. Might not be at home, but it will turn into
the youth club. Into the youth club.
Yeah. So I'm saying it
great,
starts with mum.
But great. Do you know where he is for us to find out that problem? In the youth club. So so now we can go to his parents and say, "Yo, do you lot need help?"
Yeah.
What is going on? Like, we want my man to keep coming to the youth club, but we can't. But now at least you know directly where it's coming from. If I see a youth on the street now, and he's just out there random, who do you go back to?
Yeah.
He's not in a particular spot where you can go, I know where he lives. I know his parents. His second name is. Because you can't be in, this is what I don't understand, yeah? We've got modern technology now, and we'd be like, and it was a valid question which you asked the doink, yeah?
Yeah.
But we've got modern technology now, yeah? When you join a youth centre now, should be name, address, bring your passport before you... Bro, you have to do it everywhere else.
Full details, isn't it?
Do you know what it's made me think, right? So on one of our previous episodes, right, I asked the question, we were talking about single mothers, right? And I asked the question, I said, so what we have within the relationship structure, yeah, is we have a lot of single mothers and a lot of absent fathers, right? So there are fathers that are absent and there are women that have chosen these absent men, right? Is it now for other men to come into those relationship structures for the women who are single mothers, and take on those children as their own and guide them? Is that the responsibility of the men?
This is what I mean with community, yeah? If you work within your community, those children of your community will become your responsibility naturally.
Naturally, anyway.
You don't need to chirps the mum. You don't need to be involved so deeply, because once you're like, yo, big man, where do you live? Not because I'm trying to bully you or nothing, because this is my community that I keep clean. There will be no this, that, and that around here, yeah? And if you got problems in life, like, you don't need to feel away in front of me, yeah? I don't mind going buying you lunch right now and we can talk about it. Like, you gotta run your community, bro. Like, not on those soft, hi kids, as men. Yeah, this is the problem now. Like, we've turned into, like, the problems we have with women has almost reverted and gone inside us, and now we're preaching the same thing as women. We can't stand y'all. Men, you don't go to any part of Eastern Europe, yeah, no matter what problems their women are giving them, yeah, they will be like, this is a community run by men. But
then is that the problem? Our community isn't run by men?
Of course.
It's a matriarchy.
Well, yeah. And that's got nothing to do with...
I'm talking about black community specifically.
And black community specifically, but other communities have been affected by it now.
Yeah.
But I would say that's got nothing to do with... You know, like, because what normally comes with that is a default answer from a lot of women. It'll be like, oh, so you're saying women can't run nothing?
I'm saying that you're not supposed to be running it.
Because
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the men are supposed to run it, because no one's community in this world is run by women. Not the Asians, not the Chinese, not the Arabs, not the Europeans. It's not run by women.
Yeah.
The only community that's run by women is the black community.
But do you know what? I can't stand by these kind of arguments in it. Yeah, is that only in a black community does it turn into, if I'm leading, then that means you're worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always turns immediately.
It's a feelings conversation.
Any conversation turns into a gender thing.
Yeah.
Straight away, pow, 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 shots are fired. Like, what did you say? I can't be the leader. Fam, you're not meant to be.
Yeah, you're not meant to be. Women are not meant to be the leaders of communities.
Like, look at it this way. Yeah, if your woman ever turns around and paints her nails,
that's going to trigger a lot of quote unquote feminazis, boy.
You get though. If your woman turns around and paints her nails, fam, you're not going to be out there doing the garden and clearing the bins with me, are you?
No.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing any of the hard work. You're not going to be making. If we get, you know, them big beds you can get from IKEA with all the slabs and things, like, you're painting your nails in the kitchen and cooking up some food and talking to whoever on the phone. bro, I'm not giving you the screwdriver, am I? it don't make sense, man. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, love your, like, I don't understand why men and women in this new age just don't love their roles. Like, it would be so much easier in life generally if men and women love their roles. But I get where this conversation is going.
But remember, we're going down. Remember, we've done talk about the trans thing and the way that men can now be women and women can now be men. So the roles, the reason why you're getting all of this confusion is because there are no quote unquote roles anymore.
No. I wouldn't.
But
it's always been there.
No, but
you can't bring that into that now.
No, but I'm saying it's getting worse.
No, it's getting worse because of that. Yeah.
Listen. But there's an effect. Sorry, let me just cut you.
Yeah.
There's an effect when you constantly don't have the roles.
Yeah.
And women are the matriarchy, which has happened within the black community for decades.
Yeah.
What do you think the result is going to be? It's going to be more effeminate men.
Yeah.
More blurring of the lines of what the roles are.
Yeah.
Because
that's true.
Because women are now head, and women generally they think with their emotions more so than their logic.
Right.
We got to call her in.
Marcus, did you want to say something?
Yeah, just quickly before the caller comes in, yeah? And this is what I don't understand again, yeah? I've said on the show before, if you want to run your house like Dwayne Wade, yeah, and Gabrielle Union, yeah, fam, it's fine by me, yeah? Do what you're doing over there, yeah?
But don't bring it over here.
Don't bring it over here, yeah? Because what we're doing over here is doing what we call old school community-based things.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because those
common sense-based things. Forget old school, it's common sense.
Yeah, but to them, it's old school, right?
No,
That's how they would
sense,
do.
Man.
Because even though I could turn around and say to them, these systems have lasted for thousands and thousands of years. And any time the confusion system has come up, we always got something in history like Babylon falling, Rome falling. As soon as the lines got blurred, you saw a society fall. Yeah? If anyone's got any...
it's a cycle of history.
If they want to bring me any facts where the men was like, go on girls, you can do what we're doing, and you can show me where that society flourished historically.
Yeah.
Please don't bring me the Amazonian thing, neither, please.
Thomas.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's get the caller in.
We've had Thomas in before.
How you doing, brother? You good?
Hey, how are you, bro? Long time.
No, I'm good, brother. How you doing? Welcome. What you got to say?
So in my opinion, who is responsible? It's both the parents. If you look at the Wade's children, I believe he's failed his children. Absolutely. Because you know what? I was raised by a traditional woman. Yeah, conservative woman. My mother's Nigerian, and she did. Being conservative means you prioritize things that are important. Like, do you look at Will and Jada Smith? Look how they failed their children. In my opinion, Sarah, and is your name is it Brother Doink?
Marcus.
Marcus.
Oh, Doink.
Marcus. Hi, Brother Doink. How are you? Being a liberal, in my opinion, destroys everything, man. That's what. What's your opinion?
Go on, man. Let me ask you. It's James, isn't it? Thomas. Sorry, Thomas. Let me ask you this, Thomas. Yeah. When we say failed, sometimes I believe we can fall in our own trap. Like, because I don't agree with the way Will and Jada have raised their children. I don't agree with Dwayne Wade neither. But in truth, yeah, if they do it over there in their village and not in mine, and they don't bring their village over to my village and say, you know what, your children needs to be raised like our children over in their village, I really don't have an issue with them. Just keep it over there, and don't try to dominate me, because that would be a form of fascism, wouldn't it?
Agreed.
But brother, I understand that. But they don't care. You see this issue here of kids being liberal, being in the LGBT. It's spreaded. They're not keeping it in their own section. You know what I mean? It has spreaded. Like,
but what I'm saying is isn't their marketing better than ours? Like what we're trying to market with traditional family, yeah? Where's our marketing? What are we marketing? How are we marketing the traditional family works?
No. The thing is, yeah. 2022 was different. Was different compared to, let's say, 2002. We didn't see this type of nonsense in 2002. You get me? Like, because we live in a PC woke era, which for God knows, I don't know how it began. I heard some brothers say that this woke era began when Obama was in power. Looking back, I kind of agree. Because when Obama came into power, before Obama was elected, things were normal, bro. Things were normal.
To an extent, yeah.
We didn't see politicians being confused on what a woman is. Like, before Obama was in power, everyone had common sense.
Let me ask you this though, yeah. You say again. I want to kind of reiterate the question. Like, where is this place? The what would you call it? The old style of being a family. The traditional family. Where is this place where we're going? Okay, but over here we do the traditional thing, and this is how it works for us. And look at our children's grades, and look at the family homes and the family units sticking together, and like the streets are clean, and our shops are lovely, and our lifestyle on a whole is great. Like, because you know when you're challenged with something, you have to stand up on your two, innit? Somebody challenges you, you have to stand up for your own and say, this is why I believe in what I believe in. You can't just do it with words, because they're doing it with campaigns. They're doing it with buying out presidents. They're doing so many things to address their wants and needs. Now, I'm sure they've got a lot of money backing them and supporting them. But nonetheless, I do not see the traditional family. I see us complaining, but I don't see us standing together and saying, right, this is what we're going to do. This school that we're opening is for traditional children.
And that's why we created our clan.
And that's why. Because you can't keep on begging people to be fair to you. That's not how this world is built. Fairness is not in this world.
It's not about fairness.
Like, so
power respects power. Basically. Respect gains respect. Basically. If they see you moving in a respectful way, you gain their respect. And if they don't respect you,
get walked over.
You get walked over, but you demand respect.
Right.
So even here on the Black Opinion, when people hear us speak, they're like, you know what? I might disagree with those guys, but I have to respect the fact that they can say what they want to say and they're doing what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I don't give a this me personally. I don't care if people like me or not. Respect me. That's it. Like me, dislike me, but you're gonna respect me though.
Right.
Brother, they don't want to respect you because, you know, when you tell the truth all the time, you see things how it is. People, they live in their own bubble. They don't like the truth. And that's why you see these liberals.
And that's fine.
You see these liberals, bro.
Thomas, sorry to cut you, mate, but they don't like the truth. And Sorrel made a really great point years ago. He's like, the truth has one purpose, and that's just to tell the truth.
Yeah.
If you like it, cool. If you don't, you don't. Like, I'm just going to tell you how it is. It's up to you what you do with it after I've told you. Do you get me?
Yeah, but brother, Doink, these people are so caught up in their feelings. They don't care about logic. That's why the UK is so messed up. Like, when I tell the truth, you see some, you know what? You see some. I'm not gonna call them brothers, but you see some black men here who are liberal. They want to fight me. They want to inflict harm. I'm like, what? What did I do? I just told the truth.
Thomas, they do the same to me, and you know what we realized? That's just not your clan, bro. That's all it is. And that is the reason why we created our clan, because we realized just because you got black skin like me, and the thing is, and over here, I will say this at the Black Opinion, we want the best for all black people. not only do we want the best for all black people, we want the best for all humanity, regardless of race. Yeah. But if you want to get specific with the black community, we want the best for all, but we understand that you may not want the best for us.
Straight.
So we have to move with people who want the best for us, just like you. Do you know what I'm saying? Just like you. You may want the best for us, bro. You be one of our clan. I want the best for you because what I can see is reciprocated.
Yep.
That's all. If the love is not reciprocated, you're not part of my clan. It's really that simple.
Yeah. But they don't care. They're too caught up in their feelings. They want to, like, everything that is bad, they want to replace it. And they want it bad to be good and good to be bad.
Thomas, sorry, brother, we're going to have to cut you. There's someone else also. There's another caller coming in. Brother, listen.
Thank you for the call, Thomas.
Thank you so much for calling in. We're going to get to another caller, bro. You take care of yourself, brother.
Salute, Thomas.
All right. I don't. Who we got next?
All right.
Who's this? Hang on. I don't. Pronounce the name.
All right. Let me see if I can get it right. Aiden?
There you go, bro. There you go. There you go. Aiden, how you doing, bro?
Hey, you need to promote that man now. That's it. He deserves promotion. Okay, so I'm not going to... How you doing, guys? You all right? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, we're good, brother.
So, 16 years ago, someone sliced my throat and tried to murder me because I was selling drugs. This was a grown-ass man. This wasn't a child who nearly murdered me. It was a grown man, much older than me. So I was 20. I was a little youth. I didn't know nothing about the world. I didn't know nothing about life. And he nearly killed me over like 40 pounds. So I grew up with mom and dad in my household, yeah? And they've been with me up until now, and they've always supported me, right? Obviously, they didn't feel comfortable when someone is trying to take the son's life or an insignificant amount of money and so on. Obviously, they didn't feel nice about it. But if they weren't around, mate, I would have gone back and killed that man. I would have been doing 25 in life now. With that, like, there's no. I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna glorify myself. I was a stupid kid, and I gave someone an opportunity to take my life, like just like that. Look. It went in the carotid artery, mate. Like, I'm not like life. It was life and death, and I come through. Obviously, I'm not gonna say that I'm like Superman or anything. I came through, but my mum and dad was an imperative part of my life from the day I was born. I mean, I'm privileged because I have them. I mean, they could have beat me to death. They could have tortured me. They could have neglected me. You know, do you know what I'm trying to say? The privilege of having mum and dad. They chose to give birth to you and raise you.
Aidan, let me ask you a question. What made you get into that type of life if you had a good household?
I came from a country. Listen. I wasn't born in England. I came to London in 2000, and I came from a country called Azerbaijan. So when I came here, before I came here, I'm a bookworm before, and I'm still am. But when I came here, I was shoved straight into the secondary school in South London, and then people just start spitting at me, beating me, robbing me, kicking me. I had nobody that speak my language. Nobody wanted to be my friend. I was racially abused by everybody. I'm not even joking here. When you're a child, everybody racially abused me. I don't have grudges. People are just stupid because you raise stupid kids, and that's what they do. Obviously, I'm not going to go around and be reciprocal in that behavior because I knew there was something wrong with them rather than it with me, even though I felt really bad. I had really bad schooling, and I ended up meeting some boys, and then I just started shotting. I started doing county lines. I progressed. I got nicked, and I got found not guilty in court. And then 3 years later, when I was 21, someone sliced my throat, tried to kill me. And then I thought, you know what, this is moving on. So I did other things. I went legitimate. I got a job, and now I'm nearly 40, and I'm all right. You know what I mean? I can pay my own rent. I'm not homeless. I'm not skillless or unemployable. I don't have a criminal record because I got lucky, really, not anything else. But I'm telling you, this is the life I've led up until now, and I could have turned. I could have turned out to a Muslim jihadi. I could have turned out to Tommy Robinson's mate. mate, I went to school in
Hang
Kidbrooke,
on,
right?
Aiden.
Elton's down the road.
That's a very wide chasm you got going there. You could have been Muslim jihadi,
No, I'm
and you
being
could have been
deadly
telling what this is,
serious.
mate.
Azerbaijan
it's
is a
possible.
Muslim land.
Yeah.
Azerbaijan is a Muslim land. I'm a Muslim man. Aiden is not my birth name. I changed my name so people in this country don't question my existence. You know, I'm tired of explaining my background. I'm tired of telling you why I'm white, blonde hair, blue eyes. I've got Islamic background and I speak this many languages. I don't need to explain that to people. It's just exhausting. Okay, so I've changed variety of. I had to adapt fully into this society, or I will be an insignificant human being, had no productivity into the society, and I haven't become that with my own choices. But my mum and dad,
Okay. Listen, Aiden, thank you for your story, bro. We're gonna talk about that. Thank you, bro.
I'm not trying to be sympathetic here. I'm just giving you a little perspective from different humans that you've never met before. You don't know.
No, we
you never met
appreciate
people
it.
like me with my experience. So I thought I need to get
No, we
that out there.
appreciate
There's
it.
different people with different lives, and it's mum and dad is important. It's important.
We
agree.
And we agree.
Okay.
Definitely.
We
Definitely
agree
on that.
All right, then, Aiden, man. Take care of yourself,
Thank
brother.
you, brother.
So you can come from two parents. Well, his story is quite
It's deep.
Yeah.
It's deep.
It's quite.
It's deep.
Yeah. Jam. Right. Listen, family. Thank you all for tuning in. It has been an interest. It's been a powerful show, right?
Yeah.
It's been an interesting show. Thank you for all that donated. Thank you for all that commented. What do you want to say in closing, Marcus?
I don't think we had this discussion to just judge people. I think it was more dealing with the facts and the results of certain cultural aspects of the single parent family and the effects of, the results being of that of knife crime. I don't think anybody needs to come away from this show feeling away. If you are a single parent, just literally take the stats into consideration. And
so in closing, you think that the reason for the youth violence starts at home?
In the order which I stated on the show.
Home, community,
government.
And I'll speak to that as well. That is, I agree.
You agree?
Marcus,
Do you know? I think it's actually a shame that there were no parents that called in, because I would have liked to have heard from a parent because
I did say to you. Do you remember I said at
you
the
did
start of the show?
before the show.
That's
what Marcus said.
Yeah.
Because parents generally don't want to take responsibility for their children.
Because listen, if a parent comes on here and says they're the one that's responsible for their child going out and selling drugs, what are they going to look like? They're going to look like
a bad parent.
A bad parent. So everyone's going to stand on their game and be like, I'm doing the right thing.
But lastly on that one, you know what is, my brother? Yeah. Then when somebody admits they've got a problem with alcohol, is that not the beginning to their recovery?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's true. That's
drug addiction, anything.
I'm saying it's brave to admit.
To admit it. Yeah.
To admit that I may not have done everything right via my child. I think that's an extremely brave thing to do.
And do you know what's so funny? Like my my son's 9, and if something happens in regards to him, I would have to look at myself and say, what did I do? Or what didn't I do?
Yeah.
That kind of led him down. Did I slack on certain things? Did I not do something? And the thing is, that's just me as an individual, because I can be quite introspective and I can be quite reflective on the stuff that I've done. And I feel like a lot of parents just parents in general, don't like to take quote unquote, and it's not even about blame. It's just about understanding where things could have happened, where your child could have gone down a different path had you had done whatever.
But this is what I said. Even though we let him run with it in his story, Aiden's thing I found very interesting, that he put his life being saved due to the fact that when he went back after that, remember he had to be in hospital, he had to recover, and while both his parents were there saying, "We love you, son," something along the lines, and don't be involved in this no more, and they're just hoping you pull through. would that be equal to just a mother sitting there and you thinking in your head, my dad couldn't even come when my throat
just got slit.
Got slit and I'm on their deathbed. You get what I'm saying? Those things will be the things that make you let go.
Yeah.
Rather than hold on.
Listen, family, I'm telling you this, right? This podcast, yeah, you guys are going to have to grow this show, all right? You're going to have to share, like, and subscribe to the channel. And not only that, when the live link is there, click the live link. You know, come on in, talk to a doink, talk to myself, talk to Marcus. We are here. We want to hear what's going on with you. It's not just a black opinion. It is the people's opinion also. Thank you to all that donated. Thank you to all that watched. Thank you to all that did subscribe. Thank you to all that commented. Family, we are out of here. Adoink say peace.
Salute.
Peace, guys. Until next time.
Marcus say peace.
Peace, family.
Peace, family. Peace.